as well. David, when you were actually doing this psychometry, you were visibly moved.
Yeah. Things like that, they store that energy. Imagine the energy, the pain that these people were quite clearly in, and it stores the energy. That's exactly what these objects do. Everything in the world is energy. You know,
because I said to you, I thought it was very impressive that you got it right, and you said to me it was so easy because of the energy that was emanating from it.
Absolutely. It's such a powerful object that it was like reading a book.
And you had tears in your eyes.
Yeah, I still have them now because the energy is still, it's still around me, and it'll probably take me a wee while to get rid of it.
What does that mean that you can actually feel the history coming from it?
You have to tune in a little bit more to get the history. I think the initial thing you feel is quite simply the pain and the humanity of it. It's the humanity you sense from them.
Okay, and what do you make of that, Matthew?
I think I'm impressed by that as well. I can confirm, as Richard was saying, that I find it very impressive because when it's been referred to as either a piece of wood, or earlier on people were talking about it as though it was a door. And I think what David said it was and what it turned out to be isn't an obvious guess. I wouldn't have made that kind of guess. So again, and I'm fairly confident that David didn't have any background knowledge about it.
So you believe that David has a gift?
I'd like to do some further investigations.
Oh, if I hear that one more time, Matthew, I really...
Well, why not? That's how we're going to find out more about this kind of stuff.
Okay, Julian?
David, thank you. Now, here's a story. Becky Lopez in Leicester, she's a Most Haunted Forum member too. Last year, Becky and her friends conducted an overnight vigil in Derby Jail, and they experienced several strange phenomena. One man felt hands on his shoulders, and the people around him were convinced they could also see hands. And Becky and her friend shut themselves in the condemned cell, and at around 4 a.m, her friend Ray felt something touch her, and they asked if there was a spirit entity present, at which point there was a loud shuffling noise from the corner of the cell. Extraordinary story. More from Interactive later, and the winners on the competition. David.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for that, Julian. Now, obviously, Kieran and John are still at the location, but I can tell you that Kieran has moved into a different part of the location, and he's actually now going to perform a scientific study. So he's moved away from the part that Derek described as nasty and dark. And after the break, we will be welcoming back some of our investigating team, and of course Yvette Fielding with the incomparable Derek Akora. I'm sure our audience will give them a huge response as they enter the hub, which they left just after 9 o'clock, some 3 hours ago. So make sure you're back after the break. We'll see you in just a few minutes' time. Hello, welcome back to Most Haunted Live for this, the final part. Now, tonight has been fantastic. Yvette and Derek are just moments away from arriving back here at the hub. We can't wait to see them and give them a huge reception. It has been an astonishing night. It really has. And thank you to all of you for your calls, your texts, your emails, particularly to Mary Booth and her daughter Mary in Falkirk, saying the show's been fantastic, so thank you for that. Sue Myerton Jack in Leicester, who say it's brilliant. And Chris Ollis says it's the best Most Haunted Live so far. He's also sent us what he thinks is automatic handwriting. Let me just show you that. Chris, that is not automatic handwriting. It's a little drawing of the crew. So, thanks for that. Lovely drawing, but thank you very much for that. OK, Julian.
David, we have got the results of the competition. 23,000 people texted for the competition tonight, which is quite extraordinary, to win goodies like the rucksack, the T-shirt, very valuable these, you get one of those in the pack, the digital camera the size of a credit card, your own EMF reader, and a lot more. Fantastic response. So, here are the winners. Sue Fenn from London, Ilford in fact, Catherine Soden from Rotherham, Richard Egan from Caerphilly, Chris Elliott from Colchester, Julian Powell from Deeside, Annie Lawrence from Axminster, well done Annie, Michelle Jolly from Greater Yorkshire, Vicky Glenister from Essex, Fiona McClellan from Edinburgh, and Tanya Robinson from Manchester. So well done to all 10 of you. Over £3,000 worth of prizes given away to those 10 people, £300 each. So well done to all of you. And the answer, by the way, of course, which what happened at Stratford-upon-Avon was a spoon that was going through the air. Nothing else, a spoon. So well done to everyone who got that right. But those are the winners, so congratulations. And a great night tonight on the text. We've had 13,500 sightings on the website, which is also a record. It's been an amazing evening. Thank you very much. David, back to you.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, I'm with the two Richards over here in History headquarters. What I want to know from you, how have you felt tonight has been historically? How accurate has Derek been?
Historically, it's been interesting. I think the Elizabeth Payne one is very interesting indeed. I think coming up with a name that is difficult to find.
Because this is always the difficulty, isn't it? That we say, oh, well, he could have looked it up in a book. But in this case, it appears he couldn't have looked it up in a book.
As far as we know, yeah, he couldn't have looked it up. And as I say, I've been beavering away trying to find that name.
And what, obviously, that particular name, but what about all these other names, particularly in Derby Jail? Blythe, Simpson, William, Marwood, Turner and Ludlam. You said those were the Pentrick plotters.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's good, but it is in all the history books. There's a lot about it. So, I mean, that is readily accessible.
Do you share that view, Richard?
Yeah, I do, very much so. That Elizabeth Payne is amazing. Nobody could have found that out, I promise you. And it's also taught me tonight, of course, that what you do is substitute something for something else and just look what happens, because I'm very impressed with tonight. It's been fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. OK, what about you, Matthew? How have you really rated tonight? I know I've given you quite a hard time.
Not like you, is it?
I know, but I mean, you know, even you have to admit that it has been pretty impressive.
Well, it has, yeah. I mean, a number of things have happened that on the face of it, look very impressive. Again, I think that name is unusual because it's not one that's easily accessible. It'd be good if we can get back in touch with the people, the person who faxed in to give us that name, see if we can actually corroborate that and get more information. But again, on the face of it, fantastic.
OK, thank you very much, Matthew. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been told our intrepid investigators are back. So please will you welcome Yvette Fielding and Derek Acora. Have a seat.
Where do you want me to sit?
Over there. Go over there.
Sit next to you, hello, love.
Right. Well, you know, you're all here. OK, now, I mean, it's for us, it's very easy to sit and analyse what you've been through tonight. Just tell us what it's been like for the two of you.
Well, first of all, for me, I have to say I felt a bit of an idiot when going back into Derby Jail. And I think actually, my initial thought was, oh, God, I've made a complete fool of myself. But I don't know whether it was just a psychosomatic thing, but I couldn't help it.
But this is the second time that you've cried in that location.
I felt sick. At one point I thought I was going to faint, and I had to come out. And that to me is, you know, things have happened to us. We've not seen anything move or we've not heard anything, but Carl at the moment, just coming back from the last location, is actually round the back here being ill, being sick.
Right now. This is Carl in the car.
Yeah.
OK.
And because he brought out the residual energy, he's standing in one of the rooms, okay, by himself, and he came through. When the light came on, his colour had just drained completely. He was complaining of his eyes.
At the same time, Kath and Sally, they all heard a noise from that room.
Let me just jump in.
Yeah.
Again, what I want to do is to show you what's happened tonight. Have a look at this.
Okay.
I'm getting the strong smell again of smoke and fire.
When the fire occurred on the 6th of May 1886, an actor, one of the actors he wasn't actually killed in the fire directly, he was dragged out of the flames by a man named William Hill, who went in and rescued him.
It's giving me William.
William?
Hear that?
I'm absolutely, I feel like I'm on fire. I'm absolutely boiling. What's it reading at?
It's a 10 mg.
He's giving me Elizabeth. To me, it sounded like pain or...
Had a message from Peter Morris, whose great-great-grandmother actually was involved with the theatre, and her name was Elizabeth Payne.
It is very impressive. I actually found it quite fascinating. I haven't got a ready explanation for it. I mean, if
Just after the break, where Dawn Whittaker is going to join the investigative team, she is going to Derby Jail.
Cruelty to feelings, okay? He's so proud, he's got big...
Sorry.
You're all right,